To rally for Brent Welder. We're gonna flip this seat red in November.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Truth Seeker here. You heard her correctly. She said she's gonna flip this seat red. The 28-year-old Democratic Socialist is making matters worse of the Democratic Party every single time she opens her mouth. Cortez appeared in a video that was posted on Senator Bernie Sanders' Twitter account on Friday, where she said that she was working to flip the seats red. Really, Democrats? You can't do any better than this?
Hello, everybody. I'm so excited to be hopping on here, Senator Sanders' account, and we're here in Kansas City to rally for Brent Welder. We're gonna flip this seat red in November.
Also in the news, liberals believe they finally hit pay dirt with the Michael Cohen tapes, but Giuliani quickly crushes their dreams. Another day, another so-called Trump scandal that will end his presidency. We've heard this thousands of times already from a political party that would rather obstruct and trash our American first president than work with him to help Americans. It's shameful. Now Democrats are hoping that so-called recordings of President Trump talking privately to his attorney will be the thing that finally brings him down. But not so fast, says President Trump's current attorney Rudy Giuliani. Those tapes, if they do exist, will exonerate President Trump.
The president's personal attorney Rudy Giuliani told the New York Times that there is a tape. It's less than 2 minutes long, but he believes it contains a conversation that proves that the president didn't do anything wrong, because Giuliani says the president tells Michael Cohen in this recording that if Cohen did make a payment to somebody, to write a check instead of sending cash, so there would be some sort of a record of the transaction. The woman that Cohen and Trump were talking about on this call that was apparently scooped up by Michael Cohen's lawyers as they were going through all of his correspondences, trying to figure out what was privileged and what was not, is named Karen McDougal. You see her on the screen right there. She claims that 12 years ago she had a 1-year-long affair with then businessman Donald Trump. She later came out in April and said that she regretted it. She started apologizing to Melania Trump. And the reason that she came out in April is because that is when she was released from a deal that she had made with the company that owns the National Enquirer, which she says paid her $150,000 for her story, but then never ran it. She was then freed as part of an agreement. She came out, and we haven't heard much about her again for the last 3 months or so, until now when we learned about this secret recording. Harris.
All right. I am curious to know if there's any response from the White House. I'm also curious about something you said. Just want to drill down on the facts here. So did I hear you correctly saying that this came about because of Cohen's attorneys unearthing this? I do understand that they were among those documents that were seized as federal authorities were hitting several of his locations. But first, the White House response.
Nothing from the White House yet. We did hear from President Trump's personal attorney, Rudy Giuliani. Lanny Davis, who's representing Michael Cohen and part of this matter, told the New York Times that they're not going to comment on this right now. But in terms of where this recording was located, remember when Michael Cohen's office and hotel room and house were raided by federal authorities who were trying to figure out if he ever had any kind of a conversation inappropriately about payments that could have possibly violated campaign finance laws. Cohen came out and said, wait a second, I'm a lawyer. Anything that you find is going to be privileged information between me and a client. So his legal team has been going through trying to figure out what they think might be privileged information that could not be used in any kind of a court case. And they are the ones who notified the president's legal team. That's how Rudy Giuliani says that he knows about this.
Right.
So.
And Giuliani is acknowledging that the conversations on those tapes actually happened. What he's saying, from everything I'm reading, and this is the New York Times reporting as well, is that there was nothing illegal or criminal about any of this with regard to the president. We'll report the facts and follow them as they pop up. Peter Ducey, thank you for your reporting.
It's amazing how people come out of the woodwork when money's offered to them. Funny how National Enquirer didn't want to run their story. I wonder why. But the liberals were actually fantasizing over this, that they have a tape, and oh my God, this is going to be the one. This is going to be the deal breaker. This is the one that's going to get Trump out of office. And then it turns out that it's probably not at all close to what they was hoping for. A 2-minute conversation of him actually saying that he wants a record of it, not trying to hide it. I don't know how squeaky clean this guy has to be until people start realizing it. But the libs have this mentality that the reason why they're in so much power is because they are all corrupted and everybody has dirt on each other, and so they assume Donald Trump is the same way, and they can't find anything on him. They really can't find anything on him. I mean, look what all they've been up to so far. We got a 2-year investigation now about a Russian collusion and everything, and it still ain't found nothing. So it just shows that they have more and more desperate attempts at just trying to get him out of office because he's crushing all their corrupted plans that they had going. I mean, he 100% is. He's destroying every single thing that they built up towards the New World Order. And that's why they're all acting so desperate. The Dems pretty much lost it. But speaking of the Dems losing it, Senator Rand Paul lit up the Senate floor when he gave a blistering speech attacking the Senate for succumbing to the Trump derangement syndrome. The senator was roasting his colleagues over the criticism Trump has faced regarding historic Helsinki summit. Paul put it best when he said, "Hatred for the president is so intense that partisans would rather risk war than give diplomacy a chance." I'm going to go ahead and roll the clip right here.
Trump derangement syndrome has officially come to the Senate. The hatred for the president is so intense that partisans would rather risk war than give diplomacy a chance. Does anybody remember that Ronald Reagan sat down with Gorbachev and we lessened the nuclear tensions? We need to still have those openings. Nobody is saying or excusing Russia's meddling in our elections. Absolutely. We should protect the integrity of our elections. But simply bringing the hatred of the president to the Senate floor in order to say, we're done with diplomacy, we're going to add more sanctions and more sanctions. You know what? I would rather that we still have open channels of discussion with the Russians. Kennedy, at the height of the Cold War, had a direct line to Khrushchev, and it may have prevented the end of the world. Should we be so crazy about partisanship that we now say, we don't want to talk to the Russians, we're not going to have relations with the Russians? We should stand firm and say, stay the hell out of our elections, but we should not stick our head in the ground and say we're not going to talk to them. I would like to see the Russians leave Ukraine. I think we could do it through diplomacy. We're not going to have it if we don't talk to them. I would like to see the Russians help more with North Korea, with denuclearization of the Korean Peninsula. We're not going to have it if we just simply heap more sanctions on and say we're not going to talk to the Russians, and anybody that talks to the Russians has committed treason. For goodness sakes, we have the former head of the CIA, John Brennan, gallivanting across TV, now being paid for his opinion, to call the president treasonous. This has got to stop. This is crazy hatred of the president. This is crazy partisanship that is driving this. For goodness sakes, we don't excuse Russia's behavior in our election, but we don't have to have war. We can still have engagement. We have engaged Russia throughout 70 years while also acknowledging the imperfections of their system, the parts of their system that we vehemently disagree with, the lack of freedom, the lack of human rights, and yet we had open channels of negotiation, open channels of communication. So I could not object more strongly to this, Mr. President. I object.
Mr. President.
I mean, the left is literally totally 100% unhinged. They would rather risk war or an economy crash just to make President Trump look bad and get kicked out of office. And to me, I find that sad and very disgusting that these people really do not give a damn about their country at all. There's so many positive things that already happened with the Trump presidency that's not even funny. It's crazy how much stuff has actually been accomplished, and these Democrats don't see that at all. They let their hate override every single thing, and it could be something that they was actually for, but because Trump did it, they don't like it no more. That's how crazy this Trump derangement syndrome really is. So many people across the United States and also across the globe are seeing the corruption that the Dems are doing here. It's all fully 100% exposed, and they're not even trying to hide it anymore. They got mainstream media networks in on it. They got Hollywood in on it. They got music companies in on it. And it's one of the biggest propaganda systems that has been orchestrated just for us, the American people, that have to view and try to believe it. The brain-dead sheep will actually do buy this stuff, though. Because they don't know anything about politics. They don't know anything about what's going on with our government. They don't even know anything that's going on with their local government. But the first time ever they're seeing headlines come across their TV talking about how horrible this president is, and oh my god, he's caging children and all this other stuff. What do you think they're going to think? These people never gave a damn about politics. But when their zombie boxes tell them that this is something that needs to be stopped and it's urgent, these people react. It's all fake news. They're reacting to the fake news. And now all of a sudden they want to get involved in politics, but they want to do it because it's based off of lies. They don't want to do it for any real reasons. Children is getting separated from families all the time. That's been an ongoing thing here in this country for a long time over stupid stuff. And none of them shed a tear over that. But as soon as it's something that CNN points out, oh my god, everybody changed their Facebook profile picture or something. You know, that's how it always works with the mainstream. And it's 100% why the walkaway movement is growing so powerful right now. People are waking up on a daily basis. And they're really, really tired of their country being crap. And they want change. They want some kind of a change to actually fix it. The Democrats had over 8 years to try to fix it, and they didn't once even attempt. But now the power is in the hands of someone that actually can make a change, and they're trying to do whatever they can to hold the brakes on it. Completely sabotaging the whole entire country, which should be a crime. But I'm glad people are actually starting to let logic take place, and they're starting to walk away. They're starting to realize the boy that cried wolf is really just a liar. Well, what do you guys think about all this? Definitely leave your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace!
Please subscribe to our channel, like our video.